Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to be installing the 12 by 8 foot Coronado shed. Now it's not so much a how-to video, it's more of a what the process looks like video, as they give you a full instruction manual on how to do everything. So you can just follow step by step in this manual. Over a weekend, you'll be able to build it. If you're not getting it installed professionally, you'll have to build the shed floor, which I've already built. You can see here. That's a separate video that I can link to in this video. But you have to build your own shed floor, and you need to get the shingles as well for the roof. They do give you the materials for the roof, just not the shingles. So, or the roofing nails or anything else like that. So you will need to get that. That will probably also be another video, but for now we're going to be putting together this shed. So some of the materials that you're going to need: you'll need a hammer, you'll need nails, which are provided. So again, this is a kit. I bought this kit at Lowe's. You can get it at a couple different places, even online obviously, but it's from Heartland. So I just happened to buy this one at Lowe's, and everything, the nails come with the kit. The wood, obviously, the lumber comes with the kit, the framing, everything comes with the kit, except obviously the equipment. So you'll need a hammer, you'll need a square, you'll need a measuring tape, a pen. You'll need a whole bunch of stuff, obviously, throughout the whole build, but they have a list here of everything you need as well. So we're gonna get to it. Start with the walls, or the 4 walls, obviously, then the roof. You have the exterior. Also, before I start, I want to mention, I guess I don't have any here, but some of the material, some of the lumber, it looks like it's in bad shape. There's like some blemishes on it, whatever. So that's fine. It's all built to, or it's all manufactured and packaged to make sure that it's all safe and secure and stable. So even if it looks blemished, just make sure you have the best side facing out, so the best side is visible. That's obviously good for aesthetics, but it's also it doesn't hurt the stability. It doesn't hurt anything like that if the materials are blemished. So just keep that in mind. If you see some, I know when I pulled it out of the kit, I was like, what the heck? This looks terrible. This piece looks bad. This piece looks bad. But then I did some more research, and obviously from prior experience, it's good, so it's fine. All right, so we'll get started. All right, so real quick, so I've roughly laid this out. These are supposed to be every 24 inches. Again, I'm not going to go over every detail because everything's in the the manual. Pardon me, I'm a little sick too. So because it's a kit from Lowe's, because it's a shed kit, they have to pack it in a certain way, right? So this whole stretch is supposed to be 12 feet, but obviously a 12-foot package is going to be difficult to transport in a regular truck or whatever. So what they did, they actually put a 48-inch 2x4 and some 96-inch 2x4s in here, and you're just going to have to nail them together and set it up that way. Also, one thing I wanted to show you, so regarding the blemishes that I was talking about, so see this board, it's a little frayed right here, so you have it cut a little bit. It's not terrible, but so this is the better side, even though it has this blemish here. But I'm going to put this side up because the wall panel is going to go on the top, so this side will be visible when you're inside the shed. This side will not be. Again, it's nothing structural, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. So that's what I was referring to with the blemishes. And it's not really a huge deal, but you will find some that have some issues with them. All right, thanks. So next time I see you, this wall should be completed. Thanks. So one thing I forgot to mention, but it's helpful. So before you start, you should separate and organize the parts. In the manual, again, you can check it out in the manual, it shows you everything, but in the manual it suggests to separate them by what, like the back walls, the roof. So this is the roof, the back walls, front wall, all the different parts, and categorize it by that. I separated all the different sizes and everything here. It's a little easier for me, but this is something that you should do, and it'll come in handy later on. So just try to make sure that you separate everything beforehand, and you should be good to go. All right, so we have the back wall framed out. I also put on the first panel, squared it off. I'm gonna put the second 2 panels on, and then we should be done with the back wall. We're gonna get started with the other walls and just go from there. So it's fairly simple. We got 3-inch nails on the 2x4s, 2-inch nails on the panel itself. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. All right, so the back wall has been completed. I moved it off of the floor. Now I'm working on the front wall. But I wanted to show you guys something real quick. So this is the framing out the front wall area. I'm not done yet. But this here is the header. So this is going to be for the door, the top of the door. As you can see, you had to assemble. There's 3 different pieces right here. You assemble them together. So there's 3 different pieces. You have to assemble them, you nail them. See the nails there, so you nail them together. But when installing, you want to install it with the wood side up. So it's going to look like a little sandwich under there. You're going to want to install it that way. It's kind of ambiguous in the instruction manual, but that's how you want to do it. I finished the back wall, which you've seen, and the front wall is now done as well. So one thing to take note of, you see this cross beam here, you're supposed to screw that in to make sure you keep a 64-inch opening on the door. That's when you're nailing down the panels, the wall panels. You want to make sure that the frame doesn't move. You want to make sure that 64-inch opening stays there. So you screw that down, it's just a temporary thing. Eventually it'll come off. That's it for today. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. It's like moving. When you're packing all your boxes, you know, you think you're done, then you turn around and there's like 8 other rooms full of stuff, and you're like, where'd that come from? So, all right, welcome back. Today we're gonna be putting up the gable walls. So the side walls, we're gonna make 2 of them, obviously, but they're identical. So it's basically the same game plan for both of them. Again, and I've said it before, but this is more of a how the process looks instead of a how-to, because you do have the manual, which is very easy to read, go over. It goes step by step. It gives you hints and instructions. It tells you all the tools that you need and everything. So I would definitely recommend looking at that. But so this video just shows how the process goes, and then I have different pointers and tips as we go along. Not too many, because again, most of it's covered in the book. So real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I know I mentioned this earlier in the video, but when it comes to blemishes on the wood, again, like this one, it's all marked up. This one kind of has it all over, but I'm gonna put this side facing up because the wall panel is going to go on the top. So you'll still be able to see it from the inside, but this is probably the worst side. You gotta put it up. Again, it has nothing to do with the structure, just aesthetics, it's looks. So just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, definitely this is the worst side. So. All right, so we're done building out the frame now. It's already hot. Now we're gonna put the panels on. After this, we'll do it again, and we'll have the 2 sidewalls complete. All right, so as you can see, I kind of jumped ahead. I got focused in on some of those steps between building the side walls and then putting these walls up. So I apologize for that. I missed some steps there, but so I put up the back wall first, and that was, I've been working on all this by myself, obviously, but I did need some help holding that upright while I fastened it. So you can see the little joist there to fasten the wall up to hold it up like a little crutch. So I had my wife actually came out and she helped hold the wall in place while I drilled the fastener on. So I did get a little bit of help with that, and that's okay. It's okay to get some help. So put the back wall up. First you have to, there's a little lip on the bottom of the wall. Nail those in first, nail that lip in first, and then you nail the studs in to the actual floor in here. We have the left wall up here. That one was much more simple. I didn't need help with that. Probably won't need help with the right wall or the front wall either. But so you put that up. You need a ladder on this point. You're gonna have to screw the top and the bottom corners on the left wall so that it holds stable. Right now, nothing is nailed in or screwed in other than those two corners. So, and you can see that it's staying upright, which is great. So next, I'm gonna nail in the bottom lip on the panels outside, and then I'm gonna nail the studs into the 2x4s into the floor right there. All right, so as you can see, we have the entire 4 walls up. I think in the last clip I said that the front wall would go in last, but actually the right wall went in last. And I will say it was a lot more trouble than the other walls were actually. There's lips on the outside. The wall panels come out about 3.5 inches each side. So I wasn't able to get it in place the same way I did with the other walls. So I actually had to get a little help again from my wife. She came out and helped me stabilize it and put it up and get it in there. So now all I have to do is put the final nails in the side, the bottom, and the floor, and we're set with all the walls, and we're on to the next tasks. But one thing I'll say with the back wall, I didn't mention earlier, but the back wall, remember there's a 48-inch 2x4 and a 96-inch 2x4 that go all the way across to make it the 144-inch. So when I was moving that, it was bowing a little bit. It was pretty malleable just because where the seams are. So you just want to be careful when handling the back wall especially. But it didn't break apart. It was good. It just had a little more flex to it. But it's up, secure, and we are good to go. All right, so we're done with all the walls. The walls are all up here. Now we're going to frame in the window. Again, it comes with the equipment. So one thing of note, so it comes with these 3-inch nails. I've been alternating if it's a structural thing that needs to piece together, like say the walls, the corner of the walls, it calls to screw these in to secure them together. So for that, I've been using wood nails, exterior wood nails. These will do the trick for some of the stuff, but I've noticed they strip very easily on the heads here, so you want to be careful of that, be mindful of that. And also I just trust the wood nails more than these, but again, I will be using these for the framing of the windows. Framing of the window is done. You may have noticed there's a little snafu with this piece here. So I had to go a little bit out of order from the instruction manual to make it fit, but it fits. It's in the right position. This is still flush. There's just an issue with, I think this board is actually a little curved. So I just had to fix that, but we're all set. That's the window framing. So you may have noticed there's a roof on the shed now. So I've made a video about how to put the roof up. I'll put it in the links here, or put it in the comment below. But the roof is up. I put the gable panels up as well. Still have to do the shingles. I have to do some more stuff with the roof, but the structure itself is up. Right now I'm putting the trim on to the gables here. Very simple. Again, everything comes with the kit, so you're good to go. But Now we're just gonna, basically we're down to the detailing part of the shed. So I'm gonna put the trim up, put the soffit support underneath, and then trim around, trim on the corners, lots of trim, and eventually the doors and the windows. But so again, if you want to see how to put the roof on, check out the other videos here. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well, so you can see everything that's going on. You want to get it as flush as possible at the peak, but if there's a little bit of a gap, don't worry. I'm going to go over and caulk it all, and then eventually paint it, so it'll be fun. Alright, this next step, we're going to be putting in the soffit trim, and then so it's just these 2x4s. We're going to be putting it up underneath here. We have to screw down from the panels on top though. It goes all the way across, then we'll do that on the back side. And then after that, we'll be able to put the fascia on, which is basically like this. It's just a nice little decorative piece that hides all the blemishes and everything. So we're going to use the 1 1/4 inch screws that are provided in the kit. Again, these like to strip, the heads like to strip a lot. So just be careful when you're doing that. So real quick, as often is the case with putting this together, I had to come up with some sort of contraption to help stabilize everything. So again, we're going to be putting this board underneath. It's mostly going to be at that angle. It's a little more angled, but so instead of holding the board up there all by myself and everything, I took the other board from the other side, same size. I'm just propping it up. So I'm going to use this as a prop as we go across. I'll put a screw in this side, screw in this side, and then it should be stable enough for me to just go across without this board. The other board, it's only a 48 inch, I think, so it shouldn't be as difficult to hold up there while I'm screwing it in, but this one's going to be a little difficult. It's 96 inches, so just use this as a crutch. I'm not sure what I'll do with the other side. I'll figure it out when I get there. But just a little trick that's not in the instruction booklet for this kit. Alright, so I haven't finished the soffit trim nor the fascia yet. My drill actually died, the batteries died. Wait for those to charge. I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to put up the trim corners. So we got 4 corners obviously. I'm going to put 2 pieces of this trim on each one of them. And then they'll make it a little more decorative. Alright, so those are nice and flush. Just gotta add more nails. And I'll be done with that, move on to the next. And then at the end, again, gotta make sure we caulk everything. If there's any gaps, we're gonna fill the gaps in as well. Alright, so the soffit trim is up. Finished up with the corner trim. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention earlier, so if you're gonna do the corner trim before the soffit trim, make sure that you leave at least 2 inches for the 2x4s to go in up top. Luckily I did, so I didn't have to take them out and do it again. But if you don't do that, then you will have to take them out and do them again, which is not fun. So just a little piece of advice there. So now we're going to do the fascia across the front, and then I'll do it across the back as well. Finally learned, and I pre-nailed this in. So this should be easy. There's 2 pieces that go across the top here, and you have it flush with the top of the roof panel, and then you want to have it butt up to the gable. Just gonna do 5 nails for each piece. Done. Now I'm gonna do the other half, and then I'll do the back side. All right, so we're finally towards the end of building the shed. Have to put the door on. I've already braced it here. So I braced it. There's a brace here and a brace on the bottom there, and then there's also a stabilizer board here, which is there temporarily. In the manual, it says to use this board for the lower part of the door. However, as you can see, it's not wood, I don't know what it is, but it's very cheap and it broke into 3 pieces. So obviously I'm not using that. I just used a piece of scrap wood that I had laying around for that brace down there. So we're gonna put the door on here. We're gonna use this as a support, and then hopefully it'll line up and just screw it into the frame. Hopefully it'll be that simple, but typically never is. So, oh, also, again, it calls for the 3-inch screws that come with the kit. I am using the wood screws that I have. Again, I trust these a lot more, especially on more structurally important things. Alright, so that's it. The door is finished, it's on there. I'm gonna take off the braces. I'll put the trim up. Hopefully that thing's on properly. I'll let you know how it works. A not so pro tip, I left a drill bit inside the shed that I need to move this bottom brace on the door. So hopefully this will be the last time and only time. It's definitely going to be the first time that I have to go through the window. So just make sure you don't leave anything inside that you're going to need after. I think I framed this out already. Got it. Should be good to go now. Right now I'm putting on the trim on the door. And you actually have to do it from the inside. You have to screw it, put the screws in from the inside out. So I did this top piece here already. Now I'm doing this piece. And we've got a couple more, but so you can measure it. You can do measurements to figure out where to put the screws. I do the not so professional feel on the outside, hope it's the same spot on the inside. It's always worked, whether it's the roof, the walls, the flooring, whatever. Kind of get a feel of where that screw is or the nail. So that's how I'm doing it, but you know, there are other ways to do it. I'm just out here trying to get this done. Alright, so we're just gonna do that all the way down and keep on going. Alright, so I finished the trim on the doors. I reinforced the trim along the edges of the door here, and then also obviously the trim that we put on. And then up top, there's a trim piece up there as well. So all the door trim should be good now. We're going to put on this threshold here on the front door. It does say to use, there's a separate bag of 3 1/4 inch screws, has a special coating on it, and so it says to use those for there. There's only 11 in the bag, so that's how you know which ones they are. Hopefully they work out, and hopefully the special coating is special enough to keep it secure and not rot over time. But you just screw it in. The holes are already pre-drilled, which is nice, and it should be simple to put in. It goes across there, across the bottom, just to secure that a little more. Sweet. So I'm pretty focused on getting this done today, at least the build part. I still have to caulk some stuff and then obviously paint it, but pretty much we're towards the end here. So I did put in the windows on the doors. I put the doors in as well, and I also put in these door stiffeners here. So you want to make sure that on the left-hand door there is about 3/4 of an inch outside is bumped out. This here, make sure there's about 3/4 of an inch bumped out over, and make sure they can still shut. So you're going to have this one a little bit over. It's not going to be flush with the door. It's going to be a little bit over, so you want to make sure that they can still shut together. Okay, so put those on, put the windows on. I'll still have to, I'm gonna get some foam stuff, I guess, just fill in the gaps in the front area of the windows, and then I'm gonna caulk it again. So with the door, or with the windows, you put them on from behind the doors here, and it says to caulk within the frame of the door itself. So I did that. I caulked in the frame of the door, but I also caulked around the window itself. So there's a little enclave there. So I caulked in there and on the frame of the door, and then I put it in, and then you screw it in from the back there. So I just wanted to make sure it was nice and sealed up. And I'm still going to go back over after everything else is done. I'm going to go back over and caulk it again. But also, while I have the caulk out, and while there's some extra coming out, I'm patching holes. So that's where the door brace was. There's some other holes on there, so I'm patching those with some of the excess caulk as well, so you don't waste that. So now I'm putting on the trim, or the just some decorative pieces here. So the instruction manual calls for you to pre-drill 1/4 inch drill bit and then drill in 1/2 inch drill bit. That seemed very excessive to me. And so just out of precaution, I'm using a 7/64 inch drill bit, and I'm just drilling a hole just to start. It's just a starter hole. I'm not going all the way through, but I'm using that, and then I'm actually using a screwdriver to hand screw the decorative screws in. So this is more of a visual thing. It's more for aesthetics, but I want to make sure that I don't strip the nails and make it black and silver, or black and shiny silver, I guess. So I'm going to hand screw these in. So you have one up top, right below the door. You have one here, and one down there on each side of the door. But I've already pre-drilled the holes. Now I'm going to screw these in by hand. So I just wanted to let you know that the instruction manual calls for a very excessive hole for these. So I don't know why, but that's how I went about it. Alright, so I'm putting in this lock here. There's a hatch that comes with the kit. There's one on the top, one on the bottom, and I've been trying to use the screws that are provided in the kit. I don't know if you can see that, but they strip very, very easily. So I took them out, and I'm going to use these wood screws instead, because these get destroyed immediately. So I would recommend, if you have these wood screws, so this is a 1 inch screw. I'm using a 1 1/4 inch screw because that's all I have, but I would recommend using these. And if you have those, because again, these are destroyed, and if you ever need to move this or replace it for some reason or whatever, it's going to be very difficult to get out, especially over time as this rusts and stuff. So just a little bit of a tip there. Alright, so I'm installing this, and just real quick, a little trick to figure out where to drill a hole. If you take a marker and you color the bottom, or color the piece that is going to hit where you want it to, where you need to drill the hole. So you color the bottom there, you press down, and then it makes a little mark right there on the ground. So that's where I'm going to drill the hole. Just a little trick there. Alright, we're officially done building the shed. Now some detailing. Just have to caulk the seams, and then caulk the little holes that are in here, patch them up. I'll do the corner edges as well, the corner trims, but all the panel seams, any holes that are in there that don't need to be in there, just make sure that the water doesn't get in and ruin the wood. Probably caulk around the windows as well, over here. So you probably need about 3 bottles of this. Make sure you get one that you can paint. This one says paint in 20 minutes. You're gonna wait longer than 20 minutes to paint, but just make sure it's an exterior caulk and you can paint it. It can be any color. I prefer white. And then also I'm gonna caulk the roof, which you can see on the other video about how to build the roof of the shed. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below on anything you saw that looked stupid, that I did wrong, because I'm sure I did a lot of stuff wrong, and anything that you enjoyed about the video as well. All right, thank you. Until next time, see ya. All right, it has been nearly 1 year since I built this. It's still going strong. I built a ramp here for my riding lawnmower. As you can see, it's still holding up very well. I rerouted some irrigation as well before I started building. I forgot to mention that in the video, but I did reroute some irrigation. I capped that one off. That one's still going strong. I built a garden box. We've had a hard freeze here for a while, so everything's dead, but I ran some irrigation here as well. But yes, as you can see, this thing is still looking good. I stained the ramp, I stained the bottom 4x4s and the 2x4s as well. So I stained it not just to look good, but also to help protect against water and everything. As always, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon.